Good morning. I'm Dr. S.P. Tiwari. Today I will discuss another febrile illness known as scrub typhus. Scrub typhus is a very serious febrile illness and it is just equal to other febrile illness like dengue fever and malaria, etc. So this febrile illness is caused by one of the rickettsia named Orientia sutsugamsi. It is also known as rickettsia sutsugamsi, and this disease is transmitted to man by accidental way through larval mites known as chires. So these larvae basically they grow in rodents. Their life cycle goes in rodents, and accidentally they come in touch of human beings and they produce disease. So this disease caused by larval mites in the human beings and causes the scrub typhus. There is no human to human transmission of this disease. Vector of this disease is rodents, small animals, cow, buffalo, dog, cat, etc. Incubation period of this disease is about 10 to 12 days. Then coming on to symptoms. Symptoms are fever with chills, severe headache, body aches, muscular pain, a dark scab-like depressed scar mark known as scar, and that is similar to the burn mark produced by the burning cigarette. So it is just like that. Apart from that, lymphadenopathy, glandular enlargement, then mental changes. Sometimes patient go into encephalopathy and they become unconscious, and rashes all over the body. They are of medium size, bigger than dengue fever, and they are pink red in color, distributed all over the body. Regarding diagnosis of this disease, this is diagnosed by a rapid kit which detects IgM in kids, and by that immediately it can be detected with high accuracy, with good sensitivity and specificity. Apart from that, confirmation done by ELISA testing and PCR testing. Other blood changes also appears in this disease, that is reduced platelet count, then liver enzyme elevation, changes in kidney functions, changes in protein, etc. Coming on to complication of this disease, they may develop hemorrhagic tendency, encephalitis, then myocarditis, acute kidney injury, pneumonitis, respiratory failure, and unconsciousness. Once diagnosis is made, these cases must be treated vigorously. If patient can take oral tablets, then preferred drug is doxycycline. Initially loading dose is given with 200 mg BD for 1 day, then 100 mg BD from 8 to 10 days. Apart from that, doxy plus azithromycin or azithromycin alone is also effective. If both drugs are combined, they give better results. Azithromycin is given in dose of 500 mg BD for 10 days. If patient is not taking drugs orally and he is semi-conscious or unconscious, they are put on and this IV therapy, and injectable range is more effective. Injectable drugs are more effective than oral. Doxycycline is given in infusion form. Initially loading dose of 200 mg stat, then 100 mg BD in normal saline given over 1 hour for 5 to 7 days. Then they are switched to oral forms. Apart from doxycycline infusion, azithromycin infusion is also given. That is given 500 mg BD for 5 days. Both doxy and azithro, if combined together, they give synergistic effect, and nowadays they are used very frequently. Once IV therapy is given and patient can take oral drugs, then they are switched on to oral therapy with azithromycin, doxycycline, etc. Then in pregnancy, lactation, doxycycline is not given, and in place of doxycycline, only azithromycin is given in form of IV or oral therapy. Clarithromycin is also effective. Regarding prevention of this disease, no vaccination is yet being investigated, so there is no prophylactic therapy. Only prevention is keeping distance from the larval mites. Chloramphenicol is also a very good drug which is effective in these cases, but due to toxicity it is not very frequently used. In cases of pregnancy lactation where doxycycline cannot be used, chloramphenicol therapy can be given. Sometimes patients become very serious, then they must be referred to tertiary centers where ventilation facilities are available. They can be kept on ventilators if respiratory failure is there, and aggressive management is done at that level. Regarding prognosis, very excellent response is seen in these cases. They quickly recover once doxycycline infusions are given. Even unconscious patients, they respond very well. So it gives a good credit to doctors if they treat them aggressively, and we must take quick actions to start IV doxy plus azithro combination to start with, and other management is kept at supportive therapy. Sometimes they develop convulsions if they are in encephalopathy, so anti-convulsion drugs must be given. Best drug is levetiracetam, which is given in infusion till patient is unconscious, and later on it is given in oral form, 500 mg BD to continue till patient recovers. Prophylactic doxycycline or chloramphenicol therapy is also available. It is given twice weekly for 5 to 6 weeks. Doxycycline and chloramphenicol both are effective in prophylactic therapy.